Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In 2023, I made my New Year's resolution to be more active and healthy and pay attention more to my fitness, and I wanted to get a fitness tracker to help me and motivate me to be more active. And over countless YouTube videos and comparisons to different types of fitness trackers, I landed to getting the Apple Watch Series 7 in the 41mm GPS plus cellular in the color green. So here is my 1 year later review, and let's just get into it. One of the main features that I really love about the Apple Watch is that you can track a workout straight from your watch. I mainly do outdoor walks. These are like the most ones that I've done, or jump rope, but you can do a bunch of other things like indoor cycling and swimming. Because I mainly do walking, I try to get 10,000 steps every day. That's like my main goal. One thing I really like is that if I want to track a walk and I forget to do that, it will automatically remind me after about like a few minutes. It will be like, hey, it looks like you're on an outdoor walk. Do you want to track it and record what you've missed so far? Then you can just like add it to your exercise goal, which is really good because I've actually forgotten to do that a few times, so that's pretty neat. It also reminds me throughout the day to close my rings if I haven't done it or I've been quite lazy, so it keeps motivating me throughout the day to close my rings. One time it reminded me like at 11 o'clock saying, hey, if you do a 10-minute outdoor walk, you will complete your exercise ring, and do it to add it to your trophies or whatever. Which is another thing I want to talk about, is that it does a lot of these like awards or like trophies type of thing. You have like all these different challenges, and if you complete the challenges, then you get like these awards. It makes it feel like you're actually playing a game and you're trying to complete the rings to complete the game and win, and all these challenges and trophies. Also at the end of every week, at the beginning of the new week, it always gives me a weekly recap of the previous week of like how many times I completed my stand goals, my exercise goals, and my calories goals, and just does a little bit of a recap at the end of the week, which I like. The same thing happens at the end of the month. It does like a monthly recap and a new monthly challenge to do like based on your last results last month. I think it was for February that if I complete my exercise ring, which is 1 hour of exercise, if I complete that for I think 19 days throughout the month, then I win the February challenge, which I think is really cool. So it does like based on other previous months. Anyways, besides all of the exercise based features, there are also other features to do with the Apple Watch that I also want to talk about. One of the main features and one of the main reasons why I got the Series 7 specifically over like the cheaper version being the SE was because it has an always on display. Now my phone has the always on display, it's the iPhone 14 Pro, and I honestly think it's a non-negotiable to have the always on display on a watch, because the last thing I want to do every time I want to see the time is to raise my wrist all the way up or touch the screen or press any of these buttons to just simply see the time. So to have the always on display, I can still see the time with like an off axis without even having to activate the screen. The other thing was also because the screen is slightly bigger by like literally 1mm, but that 1mm really helps with like typing stuff. So if I, let's say, get a message and I want to reply to it, I will have a whole keyboard on my screen and I can just easily type back and reply to the message. And I can even swipe type just by swiping over the letters and type each word out at a time, which is really helpful, especially times where I don't have my phone nearby or I can't use my phone because I'm at work and I have a message and I just need to reply to it urgently, so I can do that. I also really like that you can set up multiple watch faces on your watch. I have my main one, which is this one, as you can see, has all my complications. I have like the main time and date, but I also have my rings that I can quickly, easily access and see to remind me. I have my steps, and also I can quickly open the workout if I want to quickly go for a walk or something. And I also have the calculator app, which comes a lot in handy because I really do use the calculator app a lot. It's really helpful, as well as my water tracker, and I've also already hit 1 liter of water, so perfect, I've already made my goal. I can also swipe over to see my other watch face, which is, this is just a basic plain one that I got this photo from, I think, Pinterest. And then this one is just the plain time, which I like if I ever want to just see the time really nice and big. Also, this other new feature that came out with like the newest Apple Watch OS 10, which is if you swipe up, you see these stackable widgets, I think is what they're called. And I only have 2 of them, which is just the weather app, which I use the most. I use the weather app a lot on my watch and my phone. I love seeing the weather, which is really helpful. I can even see the 10-day forecast. I can tap onto it, open it up, see the 12-hour forecast throughout the day, as well as the 10-day forecast throughout the next 10 days, which is really helpful. Also on the widgets, I have my sleep tracking app, so I can quickly see how many hours I've slept throughout the night. Another feature that I really like is the camera app on your watch. So it actually connects to my phone camera, and you can actually see what my phone camera is seeing, which is really great for YouTube videos whenever I'm filming videos on my phone and I have like my camera on a tripod in like a specific location and I can't see actually what the screen is seeing, so I can just see a little preview on my watch of what my camera is seeing, and I can start recording or stop recording. It's really helpful, honestly, and it also works just to take photos as well. It has like a little clicker to take photos, which is really helpful, honestly. And these last 2 little things, if you go to the control center by pressing the little side button and the torch button, all it does is just lights up the screen really bright. But honestly, this is like enough that I can go to the toilet in the middle of the night and not have to turn on any other lights because I don't want to wake myself up anymore. So just by using this little bit of light, it honestly does lights up the whole bathroom, and then I can just see where I'm going without like falling downstairs, as well as this little ping feature where you can instantly find your phone, and I will know where my phone is by hearing the loud sound. I did not realize how much I would actually use this pinging your phone feature, but it's really helpful and it's probably like one of the best ones. But anyways, there are also some hidden features that I want to talk about as well. One of them is that if you go into settings, now I'm going to explain how to do it because it's really hidden. I didn't even know how to do this. So you go to settings and then go to scroll down to accessibility, tap that, scroll all the way down to you find assistive touch, I don't even know how to pronounce it, and then scroll down to hand gestures and then turn it on, and you can customize a bunch of different hand gestures. So if you pinch your hand once, it does specific things. You can do a separate thing for double pinching or clenching or double clenching to do different things. Like I already opened up the home page from that. Let's say you have a timer going and it like goes off, you can double pinch and it will get rid of the timer, which is really cool. Same thing with if you have alarms going off, or even if you have the camera app open, you can just set up your phone on a tripod, double pinch, and it will just take the photo in like a 3-second countdown timer, which is just so cool. And I just didn't realize you could do this, so I'm so glad I figured that one out. Another little hidden feature is that if I just slap my screen with my hands, it will turn the watch off, like the display off. If you accidentally activated Siri and you don't know how to shut her up, you can just like slap it and it will be good. Also, another little thing I've noticed is that if you have an iPhone with the always on display, and my one has an always on display, so if you have the always on display and you walk away from your phone, it will actually know that you're like nowhere near your phone, at least like a 3-meter radius or something, and the always on display will actually turn off. Then when you walk back into your room or walk near your phone, the always on display turns back on again, which I think is like a cool hidden feature, because if you're nowhere near your phone, then why would you need the screen to just constantly be on, you know what I mean? As well as if your watch actually fully dies and like runs out of battery, it will still tell you the time, which I think is really cool and underrated. But besides all good things, there are some bad things, and I do want to talk about some things that I don't really like about the Apple Watch, some things I want to complain about. Luckily there's only 3 things on there, but let's just start off with the least worst thing, being that the step counter is not like an integrated app on the Apple Watch. So you actually have to download a separate app, like a third-party app that tracks steps. Apple didn't make one themselves. I don't know why. Apple always hypes up the Apple Watch to be like a health and fitness tracker, but it doesn't even do the simple step tracking. You actually have to download a separate app to be able to do that, which doesn't make any sense to me. It's not really like a huge issue because when I was setting up my Apple Watch, it already had pre-downloaded some apps that was already on my phone that's like Apple Watch compatible, so it already had the predominant app that I already have set up on my watch, but I don't know why it's not already a designated step counter, if that makes sense. But besides all of the pointless apps like the news app, which I don't know why you need to see the news on a 1-inch screen, same thing with emails. But the one app that Apple has made that is not on the Apple Watch that really pisses me off because I actually use this app a lot is the Notes app. And yes, you can download separate Notes apps, but the good ones are always like $10 or $15. Now $10 isn't like a lot of money, but I don't know if it's a good app or not. I don't want to spend the money and then it's not a good app or I don't use it that much. I just mainly want the Notes app that I have literally all my reminders, all my ideas and all my other checklists and to-do lists and everything I use my Notes app for, which is like almost anything. I use it to like organize my entire life and not have it on my watch. Now I know you're probably thinking it's not the end of the world, you just use your phone, but just in some situations like when I was at work or other places that I can't use my phone and I just have an idea pop in my head, I just want to quickly just go on my notes and type it in on my watch or speak into it and it writes it down and then go back and look at it later. But I have downloaded some other apps. I've downloaded 2 of them that I tested out. One of them is called Drafts, that you can just quickly like type down like an idea or something or speak into it, or Google Keep, which is pretty good for like a checklist app. But the thing with that is that if I need to go back and look at it, I had to literally open that specific app to then look back on my notes. I can't just go back onto the Apple Notes app. Anyway, that's just my little complaints. But the last thing I want to complain about is that the battery life basically sucks. Like honestly, comparing it to other smartwatches or just fitness trackers like Fitbits, which I was originally going to get. I was going to get a Fitbit, but then I decided to get an Apple Watch because the battery life on the Fitbits like lasts you at least a week or longer, and yeah, it doesn't have as much features as an Apple Watch, but I literally charge it right before I go to sleep for like an hour or 2 and then put it back on to track my sleep. Luckily it does charge pretty quickly, which is good, but nonetheless I do charge it and then it lasts me throughout the whole day, which is I guess good, but you know, I feel like it should last longer, but oh well, what can you do? Anyways, if you have an Apple Watch Series 7 or any other Apple Watch, let me know in the comment section down below which one you have and how long you've had it for. Also make sure you please like this video and subscribe. It would really help my channel out, and follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.